Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ella, and I'm a 17-year-old foster kid. In 2016, my life was a mess, my family was struggling, and honestly, I was out of control. After moving from friend's house to friend's house, I found myself homeless and nowhere left to go. Through no choice of my own, a whole lot of tears and screaming and blaming, I entered the foster care system. I wholeheartedly believed this was temporary and my mom would fix this and I would be back home in a couple of weeks. I believed no one understood, and if they would just leave us alone, I could fix this. Truth is, I couldn't fix this. Weeks turned into months, and it's now been almost a year and a half. I know in my heart that my mom loves us with everything in her, but she has struggled to get back on her feet. She still does not have a home for us to go to or a job to provide for us. I pray that she is not on the streets and that she is not hungry or lonely. I text her every day to make sure she is safe and knows how much we love her. I pray every night that she is okay and that one day our family will be together again. I know this burden is not mine to bear, but it has always been my mom and I against the world. In October, I will turn 18 years old, and I feel I will have to choose between going help my mom or staying where I am. Do I put my mom first or myself? And how am I supposed to choose between my mom and my baby sister, who is in foster care also? Don't get me wrong, I am not being kicked out or left on my own at 18 like other foster kids I have met. I have a family here, and I can stay where I am forever if I wanted to. But at 18 years old, the choice is mine. I want to be with my mom. I want to help her get on her feet. I want to take care of her. Some days, it completely consumes me to think of her out there alone. Other days, I think of how much fun my senior year is going to be with my friends, the basketball games, prom, graduation, senior trip. In 6 months, I will be 18. Do I choose me or my mom? I so badly want to graduate and go to college, but I am so scared to make the wrong choice. It is even hard putting these thoughts into words and hoping you all understand. I was a year behind in failing the 9th grade when I entered care. I am now in 10th grade making A's and B's and taking extra classes to graduate in 2019. I am also on the varsity cheer and track team for my high school. This has not been an easy road for me, and I still struggle every day to feel like I belong. But I am not ready to age out. I am not ready to choose between these two lives. I am not ready to give up or move on. I am here today to give you a face behind the words and numbers on the bill in front of you. There are some foster kids who are ready to face the world and these choices at 18, but there are some who are not. I'm behind in school, and even with extra classes, I will not be done by 18 years old. I want the opportunity to graduate high school. I want the support and guidance of my foster family, my workers, and my counselors just a little bit longer. I want them there when I walk across the stage with my diploma. I want my mom to see me make something of myself, but I don't trust myself to do this on my own. Increasing the age of youth exiting the system will give kids like me a little bit longer to finish school and grow a little bit longer. Most importantly, it will give us a chance to find our place in the world without the burden of choosing between what we have and what we have left behind. Thank you.
I want to commend the young lady. Keep your head up and get your education, and you'll do well. I can see that already.
On the next bill.
Sit down just a second.
Recognize me. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Senator Johns.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Ella, I just want to thank you for being here today. I know that took a lot of courage for you to come, but I want you to know you're not representing just Ella. You're representing thousands of young people across the state, and you told their story incredibly well this morning. So you, not only to you, but every one of you foster children that are here this morning, there's some incredible opportunities out there for you, and take advantage of those. And you have so much to offer life out there. So thank you for being here. And to every foster parent that's here today, thank you. I have an adopted daughter. My only child is adopted. And so I've been very involved in adoptions and foster care and those types of things. But there's just, it's a special place. You have a special place in God's heart for the work that you're doing. So thank y'all very, very much. So good luck to you. Okay.
Thank you.
I just want to thank you for your compassion and your belief and understanding in what the system faces. I wish there were no bad foster care stories to come before you. We are working every day to make every children's experience better. But you can see from the testimony in front of you that we've got a long way to go. But I appreciate your listening and hearing what these people had to say today.
Yeah. All right, Senator Gaddy,
Thank you.
to close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your time. And if all the folks here in the that work in the foster system, or you're a foster parent, if you've been a foster child, or if you are a foster child, would you stand right now if you're here today? Can we just give them a warm round of applause? You know, when you draft a bill like this, you don't know if anybody's going to show up. So I left Bossier at 5 o'clock this morning and drove in, and I knew Sage would be here. And when I met Ella and I met Hope, I realized why we have to do this bill. You know, I'll just make my closing short. Senator White, would you pull out that flag right there, that Louisiana flag, just so we can see what's on it? You know, now I want to tell you all those. Now, this flag is different than most flags you will see. You know, the story of our state flag is about a mama pelican, and she's out in the swamp, and she can't find any food for her children. Okay, so she begins to pluck the feathers from her breast to feed these babies. But there's something different about the flag in this room.
This is the old version.
That's the old version,
Right,
because there are no drops of blood. You see, the reason the flag was designed as a mama pelican, because it's a rare breed of bird. It will give of itself for its children. Most animals do not do that. They abandon the weak. Do you see? So the flag used to have drops of blood because the saying was, our state has a lot of poor people in it, but it has people that are willing to sacrifice for them. So the mama pelican had 3 drops of blood. If you're a Christian, the 3 chicks and the 3 drops of blood are equivalent to 3 days in the tomb, and 3 in the Holy Spirit, the Trinity, and things like that. So 3 even was symbolic in our flag to remind us, because we have a lot of reminders around this building about who we serve and what we're supposed to do. But for a while, someone said, I'm offended by those drops of blood. I want them off the flag. Because, see, the story was the state was willing to sacrifice to take care of the weakest. And they didn't like the fact that those drops of blood were on the flag, reminding everybody who we were really here to serve. And it wasn't until about a decade ago that someone caught the mistake.
Representative Baldone from Homa.
Well, I knew you would know. And it's always somebody from Homa that catches that kind of stuff. But they caught and they said, hey, wait a minute. Our state is about helping the poorest among us first. And then with the leftover, we can help everyone else. And so luckily, the drops of blood from the mama pelican were placed back on our flag as a reminder that it hurts to do the right thing. And that the people you're helping, those baby chicks, they don't even know you're doing it for them. And it's tough because you're the one making the sacrifice. Well, that's flipped. We're asking these children now to make a sacrifice. And that's what's wrong. We can't abandon them. You see, the flag also, the pelican with outstretched arms with those drops of blood, remind us right here, right after Easter, of Christ on the cross making the ultimate sacrifice. You see, these foster parents that are here today, they are mama pelicans. You know that? The least we can do is come alongside them and try to help them. I wasn't going to put all that on y'all today, but Ella is a cheerleader, and she led me to cheer for her today. And Hope is a child of hope. She didn't have hope before going to 36 schools. I even know her story till today. It's the least we can do is pluck some feathers where it hurts and feed these babies what they need. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Gaddy. Senator Tarver?
The flag you was talking about was put together by Democrats. That was put together by Republicans. That's why you don't have a drop of blood on it.
You had to go there.
We're probably, as you've told me to say, no offense, but we're going to edit that from the video. Okay? That will not be on Facebook later, I promise you.
All right, gentlemen. Senator Gaddy, I think we're going to have a mechanism to fund it right after this bill, right after you leave the table. I have another bill that I think we can modify in such a way to fund it.
Thank you. I want to thank each of you for your time in this, and you know, this is a tough issue. It's a very tough issue for our children, but I don't think there's any other demographic you're going to look at where the crystal ball is clearer about if we don't do it, something bad's going to happen. So thank you for your time. God bless
And
you.
so with that, before I do that, so I'll offer up Amendment 2233, which would state, which says if Senate Bill 555 passes, then your bill would have sufficient funding. And so the funding mechanism would be to take $961,000 of the $53 million that's annually provided for in the BP settlement to pay for this program.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know all the foster families and all the foster children appreciate that.
So, 2250. I'm sorry. It's a statutory dedication, Senator Hewitt.
And we will all come before your, Senator Hewitt will all come before your subcommittee to justify this dedication.
Oh, it's a direct appropriation. That's what it would be. So it's not. It goes around the committee there, Senator Hewitt. I told you we'd take extraordinary means if necessary. So, does anybody have any objection to this amendment? So, if there's no objection, that amendment will be adopted.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, and I know all the foster families appreciate y'all's work today.
And then we can bring your bill back up if, assuming 555 passes today.
Thank you.
And of course, we would direct the $1 million or $961,000 to take care of the foster care program.
Foster care program is coming off the top because you can't issue,
Right.
as you know, tax exempt bonds.
It's got to come right off the first part, right? Is that good with everybody? So the stream would be reduced by $961,000. The balance of it would be used to fund this program.
So how do we adopt a conceptual amendment without a number?
Yeah.
Can
we have
we?
numbers on both of them.
Okay.
Can y'all give us a
Add it
number,
to-
Martha, that we would? The
Have we
chairman.
adopted the amendment?
So whatever that number is, and that
Whatever
would-
that one is, right?
Yeah.
Amendment 2233 is the amendment to fund an amount sufficient to fulfill the state match requirement of Senate Bill 129 of the 2018 regular session, and that comes off the top before you securitize.
Okay.
I believe that's the intent of where we put it.
Okay. Well, then, have I offered that amendment yet? We have not adopted it, so I would like to withdraw that amendment and resubmit it with the following provisions: that $100 million be allocated to the time program associated with the highway that Senator Donahue just described.
3241.
3241, and that none of the proceeds be used for any of the roads associated with Garvey.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have an amendment number? The floor moves that we adopt amendment number, 2233, as added to in concept by staff. Is there any objection to adopting that amendment? Okay. Question by Senator Fannin.
Not a question on the 100 that we doing, but a question on the, we'll just call it $1 million for the foster.
Well, it's not going to be $1 million. It's going to be
Yeah, it's 900, whatever that number is.
961.
I'm just using a rounded number. For the purpose, we're going to securitize these for so many years, right? What happens to that? I mean, are we saying that there's always got to be enough money in that fund to take care of that 900 and something thousand?
It's not going to be in a fund. It's coming off the stream itself. As it comes in, that money is allocated and appropriated to.
And
this
it will
program.
come in for how many years? 15 years. So at that
For
point,
15 years, yeah.
at that point, then it concludes that 900 and something thousand.
Right,
It
but
would
we'll
be-
have to appropriate it every year. It's not a, we got to do this every year. It's not a statutory it's not a statutory dedication. It's
Okay.
It's an annual stream of money that we look at just as anything else in the general fund. And this year we're going to fund it, and I'm assuming we'll fund it in the years out as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
Okay. The board is clear. On a motion by Senator LaFleur that we report Senate Bill 555 as amended. Is there any objection? Hearing no objection, that bill is reported favorably.
Thank you, members.
We have no other.
Oh, well, now we can. That's right. Now we can pass Gaddy's bill.
Okay.
Senator.
Okay. Bringing back up on a motion by the chairman, Senate Bill 129 by Senator Gaddy, to report that bill favorably as amended. Is there any objection to reporting that bill favorably as amended? Hearing none. Senate Bill 129 is reported favorably as amended.